Let us start the topic reflection. First we will see reflection in x-axis. Reflection in x-axis. Reflection in x-axis. Reflection in x-axis. This is x-axis, y-axis, and this is x-axis. Horizontal is x-axis, vertical is y-axis. Let us take the reflection, and where x-axis and y-axis meet, that is my origin 0, 0. So when we take reflection of a point in x-axis, then x-axis is fixed. X-axis is fixed, and we take the reflection of the point up in x-axis. So x-axis is fixed. So whichever points are there up, it will come to down, and whichever points are down, they will go to up. Whichever points are there in up, they will come down, and down will go up, because x-axis is fixed. So when you take a reflection of a point about x-axis, down will go up will come down. So reflection in x-axis, up and down, up and down. The reflection in x-axis, up and down. Let us take one example. X-axis, y-axis. This is the point 3, 5. Take the reflection of this point in x-axis. So x-axis is fixed. X-axis is the mirror line. So we take a reflection of this point in x-axis. So up will go down. So this point A will come down to A dash. And what is that? Earlier the point was in the first quadrant. So both the quadrants, 3 plus sign, 5 plus sign. But now the point is in fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, x is positive and y is negative. X positive, y negative. So we take x positive, so 3 will remain 3 only. But y is negative in fourth quadrant. So plus 5 will become minus 5. Now similarly, we take a point in third quadrant, minus 2, minus 3. This is B. We want to reflect this point about x-axis. So x-axis will be fixed. X-axis reflection means up and down. Up will go down, down will go up. Now let us take the reflection of this point B in x-axis. So where is point B? Down. So this will go up. So third quadrant will go to second quadrant, B dash. And in second quadrant, x is negative. X is negative, y is positive. So x will be negative. So minus 2 will remain minus 2. But what is y? Y is positive. Y is positive. So this minus 3 will become plus 3. In second quadrant, x is negative. So minus 2 will remain minus 2. But y is positive. So minus 3 will become plus 3. So this is the reflection of point B to B dash. Now let us take the reflection in y-axis. Reflection in y-axis. What was reflection in x-axis? Up and down. Reflection in y-axis. Let us take reflection in y-axis. So this is my y-axis. Correct? So this, when we take reflection about y-axis, then y-axis will be your mirror. Y-axis will be fixed. And it will be mirror line. This point this y-axis will be fixed. So the point which are on the left will go to right. The point which are on the left will go to right, and the points which are on the right will go to left. So this is my left and this is my right. The points which are on the right, reflection in y-axis. So y-axis will be the mirror line. The points which are on the right will go to left and left point will go to right. Let us take 3, 7. This is point P. Now we want to take a reflection of this point P about y-axis. So P in y-axis we want to take reflection. So P will go to P dash. P is on the right of y. So P will go to the left because this is reflection in y. So P will go to left. P on the right will go to P dash on the left. Now this was the point in first quadrant, x positive, y positive. Now the same point goes to second quadrant. Second quadrant, x is negative and y is positive. X is negative, y is positive. So this plus 3 will become minus 3. And y is positive, so 7 will remain 7 only. And this is the coordinate of P dash. So when we take reflection in y-axis, right goes to left, left goes to right, and accordingly we have to change the sign of the coordinates. Let us take one point in third quadrant, A minus 3, minus 5. We want to reflect this point about y-axis. So where is this point? A is to the left of y. So this left point will go to right because this is the reflection in y-axis. So left will go to right. Right will go to left. Left will go to right because reflection in y-axis. So A is on the left, A will go to right. A dash. The point was in the third quadrant, both are negative. Now the point has reached to fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. X is positive, y is negative. So I will take positive sign for x coordinate. So a dash will be minus 3 become plus 3 because x is positive and y is negative. So minus 5 will remain minus 5 and this is a dash. So when we take reflection in y-axis, then y-axis will be fixed or y-axis will be the mirror. So left point will go to right, right point will go to left. The value of the coordinate will remain same, only we have to change the sign of the coordinate depending on the quadrant, in which quadrant it lies. So reflection in y-axis, left to right, right to left. Reflection in y-axis. Reflection in x-axis, up, down, down, up. Up and down, down and up. Reflection in x-axis. Reflection in x-axis, up and down, down and up. Reflection in y-axis, left to right, right to left. Now let us study reflection in origin. Let us study reflection in origin. Now this is my y-axis and this is my x-axis. And this is my origin where x-axis and y-axis intersect. That is my origin 0, 0. That is my origin 0, 0. 0, 0. Origin. This is point origin. Now this is my first quadrant. First quadrant it is plus plus. Second quadrant it is minus plus. Third quadrant it is x negative, y negative, minus minus. Fourth quadrant x positive, y negative, so plus minus. Now let us take the reflection of the point. Let us take the point 2, 5 A. Now where is this point 2, 5 in first quadrant? So when you will take the reflection at this point about origin, this is my origin, then this first quadrant point will go to third quadrant. First quadrant point will go to third quadrant. So diagonally you have to reflect. First quadrant will go to third quadrant. First quadrant will go to third quadrant. So A will go to A dash. But now where is point A dash in third quadrant? First quadrant will go to third quadrant. Reflection in origin. So where is A dash? In third quadrant. In third quadrant both are negative, minus minus. So 2 will become minus 2 and 5 will become minus 5 when we take reflection in origin. Let us take one point in fourth quadrant. X negative, X positive, so 3, Y negative, minus 7. Now reflect this point in origin. So this is my origin. This is my origin. So reflect this point in origin. This is fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant will go to second quadrant. So B will go to B dash. But in second quadrant, X is negative, Y is positive. X is negative, so 3 will become minus 3. And Y is positive, so minus 7 will become plus 7. So this is the reflection of B dash of point B. So when we take reflection in origin, first quadrant goes to third quadrant. First quadrant point will go to third quadrant, and second quadrant point, this is second quadrant point, will go to fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant will go to second quadrant. Second quadrant will go to fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant will go to second quadrant. First quadrant will go to third quadrant. Third quadrant will go to first quadrant. When we take reflection in origin. So let us take a recap. Reflection. So in short, how you will remember this? Reflection in origin, reflection in x-axis, reflection in x-axis, reflection in y-axis, and reflection in origin. So how will remember? When it is reflection in x-axis, horizontal line, then up go to down, down goes to up. So up and down, up and down. Reflection in x-axis. Reflection in y-axis, left goes to right, right goes to left. And when it is reflection in origin 0, 0, then first quadrant point goes to third quadrant. First quadrant point goes to third quadrant. First quadrant goes to third quadrant, and second quadrant point goes to fourth quadrant. Second quadrant point goes to fourth. Fourth goes to second. First goes to third. Third goes to first. So reflection in x-axis up and down. Reflection in y-axis left and right, right and left. Reflection in origin, first quadrant goes to third. Third goes to first. Second goes to fourth. Fourth goes to second. Then it comes reflection about the line. So you have to remember x is equal to a. A is a constant. Constant means number. X is equal to a. A is a constant. Some number. It is a line parallel to y-axis. Line parallel to y-axis passing through a comma 0. Passing through point, which point? X is a, y is 0. So what is this line? This is my x-axis and this is my y-axis and this is my origin. So x is equal to constant is lying parallel to y axis, and suppose a is having plus sign, plus a, x is equal to plus a, so this will be lying parallel to y axis, parallel to y axis, passing through which point? A comma 0, y coordinate is 0, so it is a point on x axis, a comma 0 से pass होगा. For example, x is equal to minus a, now x is negative, same thing, it is a line parallel to y axis, parallel to y axis, passing through minus a comma 0, passing through minus a comma 0. So can you tell me what is x is equal to 2 line? X is equal to 2. What is 2? Constant. What is 2? Constant. X is equal to 2 is a line parallel to y axis. X is equal to constant is line parallel to y axis. X axis, y axis. X is equal to 2 constant, line parallel to y axis, parallel to y axis, passing through which point? Axis 2. Now this is the point on x axis, so y coordinate 0, passing through 2 comma 0. Understood? Yes. Then y is equal to constant, y is equal to constant, y is equal to constant, that is b, plus b. It is a line parallel to x axis, parallel to x axis, passing through which point? Passing through which point? Now y value is b, x value 0, 0 comma b. So we can take y, when y value is constant, y is equal to constant, it is a parallel line parallel to x axis, ये x axis है, parallel to this, y is equal to b, passing through which point? 0 comma b. On y axis x value 0, so 0 comma b. So when b is positive, suppose y is equal to minus b, then again it is a line parallel to x axis, parallel to x axis, passing through 0 comma minus b, because b is negative. So when y is constant, it is a line parallel to x axis. When x is constant, it is a line parallel to x axis. Correct? Let us take one example. Y is equal to 3. Y is equal to 3. 3 is a constant. So this is the line parallel to x axis. This is the line parallel to x axis, and y is positive. So y is equal to 3, parallel to x axis, passing through 0 comma 3, because this is the point on y axis, so x coordinate should be 0 and y value 3. Suppose y is minus 3, then this is the line parallel to x axis, passing through 0 comma minus 3, passing through 0 comma minus 3. Now let us solve the problem. So reflection in x axis, reflection in y axis, reflection in origin. Okay. Now the question is, the point PAB, it is first reflected, it is first reflected in origin. Okay, origin means 0, 0. The point P, AB is reflected in origin, correct? Then further, it is reflected, whichever point you will get, that point is reflected in y-axis. Again, after reflection in origin, whichever new point will get, that new point is reflected in y-axis, and we get the resultant point as P dash, and coordinates of P dash is 4, 6. Correct? So find the coordinates of P. You have to find A value and B value. A value, B value is not given. So we draw our coordinate axis, x, y, correct? What is the last point? Final reflection point P dash. P dash is 4 and 6. What is sine of 4 plus? What is sine of 6 plus? Plus means first quadrant. So the reflected final reflected point P dash is 4, 6, first quadrant. How we have obtained this P dash? Now go in the reverse direction. You take reflection in y axis. Take reflection in y axis. When we take reflection in y axis, we get P dash. So we take reflection of this in y axis. So we get new point. Now where is this point? This point, it is in the second quadrant. Second quadrant x is negative and y is positive. So what will be this point? X negative minus 4 and y positive 6. So when we take reflection of this point minus 4, 6, we get P dash. Same thing. We get this point. Now new point we have obtained by reflecting in origin. So this is my origin. So now reflect this point in origin. So this is second quadrant. Second quadrant goes to fourth quadrant. Second quadrant, new point. New point is reflected, has obtained by reflecting in the given point in origin. So take the reflection in origin. So this point will go to there. So this is my P. What is this point? Now this is the point in fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant x is positive, y is negative. Positive and negative. X positive, y negative. So minus 4 will become 4 and y is negative. 6 will become minus 6. And this is my original point P, which is coordinates are given AB. That means A is 4 and B is minus 6. A is 4 and B is minus 6. So now let us take, when we reflect this point, go in a direct way. When we reflect 4 minus 6 about origin, we get minus 4 and 6. When we reflect this about y-axis, we get 4, 6. So go in the, to get the original point, go in the reverse direction. Whichever is final reflected point, that point you reflect in y-axis, get new point. This is new point. Then reflect new point in origin, you will get P. Original point P 4, minus 6. So these type of questions are important. Then there is a concept invariant point. There is a concept invariant point. There is a concept invariant point. Invariant point means, invariant means do not change position. Do not change position. Invariant means do not change position. Invariant means do not change position. Let us take, this is x-axis, y-axis. What is equation of x-axis?